One. Let's get it.
What's up? What's up? Yeah. What's this, Will? Number eight?
Yeah, we're number eight.
Number eight, man. Number eight. We got Terrence in the building. Noah, of course. OG Kurt back in the building. Uh, we got a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah.
I know y'all got a lot to talk about.
Oh, you.
man,
I done
man,
brought some help.
man striking that pin, man. Where y'all want to start at, man? Trump doing a lot, man. Where y'all want to start?
It's your platform. You pick it.
You want to we go straight to the DEI, man. I know Kurt, I know you hate that.
Yeah, because it directly affects me.
It affects us all
As what? As Americans or as black people?
as minorities, as women. There was a reason that was put into place, and we all know that the playing field isn't fair. Um, so that was put into place to make sure it was fair for everyone to get good employment, to kind of get a slice of the American dream, um, and for it to be taken away, and these companies to terminate it. It tells me that they don't value our dollars in that aspect, or they don't value our culture or our needs because they so easily got rid of it. I mean, it's just like with any law that is put into place. It's put into place because at some point in time it was needed, right? And even in this divisive time in politics, it's even more reason to keep it in place. So yeah, it's affecting us all. Um, and it should have stayed. It's just another way for them to sort of whitewash everything to make them seem pure and they didn't do no wrong. Let's be clear. Talking about hiring under marriage, you mean to tell me there's a Walmart in a black neighborhood, and you mean to tell me that you can find qualified minority or women to work at this Walmart? It doesn't make sense. So I'm against it. It should have stayed. And as long as we stick together, like it's against the target and stuff, they will. Hopefully, we can affect that change and we can make some changes.
All right. What you think, Kurt?
I'm against that whole system because if you read that Project 2025, it was designed to take away like all of the rights that we fought for all the way back in 1964, 65, during the civil rights, the voting rights and all of that, So I'm totally against everything it is they're doing, as opposed to sitting down and trying to figure out what all of the people want. They are aiming at just the elite few. With that whole program, they even hurt themselves,
Yeah.
because those grants and all that hurts everybody. But they didn't look at the unintended consequences. They just pushing an agenda.
They draining the swamp, man.
Well,
They
then
draining
that means they gonna resign.
they draining the
Right.
swamp, man. They doing audits right now, man. That's all. It's over. They rescinded it. It's
Well,
over.
there's nothing over, because if, like I said, if people stick together, um, we can affect that change again. But there's no cleaning up. If you're going to drain the swamp or do that, then Trump and his yes men need to be drained. Um, it is what it is. Anyone who doesn't see what this man has done and is doing is grossly blind or naive or just doubling down on them being wrong, to justify what this man is doing. There is nothing that you can tell me that is going to justify them wanting to get rid of school lunches Them wanting to get rid of the DEI program. There's nothing you can tell me that is going to be that I'm going to say, okay, well, I see that point, because there is no. And anyone who is, taking shit at face value and not doing the research themselves is doing themselves a disservice along with the community that they're a part of.
Noah, what you think?
When you say it's rescinded, are you talking about the federal funding pause?
Yeah, the federal funding, the hold on it.
Yeah, but that was just stupid because he just goes for shock value. Like, there was no way he actually thought that he could just pause all federal funding so that he could think about what he doesn't mind and what he wants to keep. Like, that's not how you do shit. He just wants to act like, oh, I'm doing shit and I'm getting shit done in the first week of my presidency. And then he looks like a fool now because it lasted 2 days. And that's some bullshit. But when it comes to the actual programs, like, it's really, like, ultimately these private companies shouldn't even, like Walmart, Target, Costco, they shouldn't even be like getting told what to do by the government in any way in a capitalist country if we're really going to push like your general views on capitalism. Why the fuck is the government, like, in Texas, they're talking about punishing certain private companies that still maintain their initiatives that prioritize politics over like consumers or whatever the word they use was. But how are we fine with that, even just for the pure Trump, like pro-Trump capitalists? How are we fine with any state telling a private company you're going to get fined if you don't do what I think you should do politically? Like, just that alone should be enough of even if you're not pressed about the whole diversity initiatives, that alone should be a big deterrent for you to not be in favor of this policy.
What companies he was talking to in Texas? He was saying that too.
I forgot the name of the guy. He was saying that to.
He was threatening to fine them and stuff.
Yeah, just threatening to fine them for any entities that still maintain their DEI initiative.
DEI.
Yeah, but let me check. I want to check. I'm not sure which companies exactly.
But that's most of the attorney generals in every state.
Yeah, that was the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton. They put banks on notice last week, warning that they could face legal consequences for any DEI and environmental, social, and governance activities that prioritize politics over investors and consumers.
So I meant to look this up, but I like I said, I just got out the truck. I'm half asleep. When did this DEI stuff start?
The executive order was the second day in office.
No, I'm talking about when was it put in place?
Oh, like.
Well, I don't want to confuse it with
In the 60s, in the 70s, in the 50s. Like,
No,
well, the Equal Opportunity Employer was done in 65, I believe.
It says mid-1960s. That's when it began.
Okay, so that basically like was around what affirmative action and all that came around the same time.
Yeah, civil rights, affirmative action, voting rights.
Equal employment laws. That all began in the mid-1960s.
Okay.
And it was all put in place.
1965. Okay. Appreciate it.
It was all put in place to kind of level the playing field for people that were, coming out of Yale colleges and you know what I'm saying? Giving minorities an even playing field to be hired in different companies. Like that last company, when I transferred down to Georgia, the minorities were on the line, forklift operators. They had not one black that worked in the tool room. That were the jobs that was making $50 an hour.
That working
And it's called the tool room, where they fix the dies for the machine.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, you mean to tell me out of all of the millions of minorities in this country, y'all can't find one black person to work in the tool room? They not pushing that.
It's not their job to find a minority that could do that job. That's not their job.
What I'm saying, they don't hire blacks in that position. When candidates come up, I've seen a young white guy come in like right after high school. He like 18, 19 years old. He making $50 an hour.
Did he know how to do the job?
they gotta train you at everything.
But you
But
gotta
it's
know how to
about
do. You gotta know. All right, so you could come in at entry level. You don't have to know anything, and they could train you for that.
they'll train you for it.
Oh.
You know, but
Did
the
you apply
fact
for that? Did you apply for that position?
the position wasn't even up and available.
Oh. So
You know,
you complaining about something that wasn't even available.
no, I'm complaining about the fact.
Just cause they ain't had no black people there.
I mean,
No, what I'm saying is,
well, I think that would be a good reason to complain. If there's no diversity in your front office, and you mean to tell me that you can't find a qualified, minority or black person or woman to fill that spot, and the first person, the 18-year-old, comes in over the people that are already in there and they have to be trained, that doesn't fly. And if
what,
don't challenge it, then it continues to go on.
I think we complaining too much, man.
No,
Really
we're not
do.
complaining enough.
I think we find everything to complain about.
BJ,
Everything we complain about, the DEI, anything they put in, anything we see in the headlines, and I'm talking about black people as a whole, as a race, and especially black men. I'm seeing black men complain more than black women about everything. Everything is a complaint.
We complain when the Republicans come in office, but we didn't. It seems as though
Why is that? That's ignorant. That's
Well,
ignorant.
I complain.
You only complain when
anything is not-
Republicans come in office? That's ignorant.
I complain anytime that anything's not right. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter. If it
I
doesn't,
agree with that.
it just doesn't sit with it. But I align myself with the party that will best suit my needs. And at this particular point in time, the Republican Party is not for people in my communities. Had this been a different time, like when John McCain was running, there was they did a town hall and the lady started to talk about Barack Obama, and John McCain snapped the mic and said, "We're not going to do that. He's a good man. He's a good man. We just have of you." And that's not happening here. Had it had been a different time, it could have been a lot better. But by this president being in office, doing the thing
for a little bit over a week. For a little bit over a week. And y'all upset. Y'all up in arms. Y'all upset.
How long does it take to burn down a house?
Obama was in there for 8 years. Y'all didn't say anything.
Oh,
he didn't do anything.
What didn't he? I mean, like, what was you expecting him to do?
Oh, okay, so we don't expect the black man to do nothing, but we gonna complain about the white man doing
what
nothing.
standard are you holding him to?
Yeah,
All right. So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. The black man leads the country for 8 years. We don't say nothing. We're not gonna complain about that, about him not doing nothing because he's black. But we gonna complain about the white man who ain't supposed to be doing nothing for us anyway, because he white and we black. He ain't supposed to care about us for real. But we gonna complain about him. We're not gonna complain about the person that's supposed to be doing something for us, supposed to be looking out for us, because we part of the same race. But we gonna complain about the white man that y'all say hate us. He's the devil. He's evil and he hate black people. Y'all looking for something y'all complaining about a man that y'all claim hate black people. Why complain?
okay.
I mean, listen to what you said. Why not complain? Do you just sit around idly and not? What is it? Faith without works is dead. So you just sit around idly and just let things happen. When things aren't right in your neighborhood, don't you complain. When things aren't right in your life, you talk about it. You complain, right? So that's normal. When people feel like they've been slighted and they feel offended based off of what's going on, it's not necessarily that they're complaining. They're voicing their frustrations and all of this. So please stop saying.
You got comments, Will?
Because you have to speak up in order to get things done. Now, back to Barack, I would hold my people to a certain standard, right? Or I would hold them accountable. However, I do understand that being naive how politics works, right? And if you don't understand it, how it works, then what you're saying is not going to register, at least with me. When Barack Obama did things that I didn't agree with, I spoke about it. However, this president has done so much in such a small amount of time against people, women and minorities that I'm going to say that.
What he done? Everybody got to take at least 30 seconds because we got like 2 hours today and it's 5 of us, so everybody got to go about 30 seconds each. But what has he done? And what has Trump done so far against women and minorities?
I mean, you haven't seen any of it.
I'm asking you. I know. I've seen everything he's done, and I don't see him doing anything against minorities and women. You made the statement.
Because when you asked me that, and you said that you've seen it, I'm trying to figure out why you asked me. Or maybe I'm trying.
You don't even got to figure it out. You made the statement. Tell me why you made that statement.
I'm trying to figure out how did you come to the decision that you came to and you saw it.
They do this every time, Will. You asked them to explain themselves.
DJ,
you made the statement that you've seen him in a short period of time what he's done to women and minorities.
And you said you saw it.
I don't feel like he's done anything to them. So
But you just said that you saw it.
I'm asking you what he's done to them.
I choose not to answer those questions when you admit that you saw it yourself. You're just refusing to look at it for what it is. So when you ask questions like that, it makes no sense to me because you're not being genuine and wanting to find out because you've already saw it yourself.
All right. No, what you got? What you was about to say, no?
I was about to say the president, ultimately his biggest impact on shit like this, he's not even supposed to be making laws about any of this. Just the executive orders that he's released, and he's already had almost more than 100 of them posted, not just executive orders and like other statements posted on the White House website. Just those alone, even though most of them are going to end up reversed or have absolutely no effect because the president isn't supposed to be making laws about this anyway. They set a narrative. That's what the function of a president in most societies. It sets a narrative, it sets a tone. As I said, private companies, they're not obliged by what Trump says, but it starts a ripple effect. It affects the people at the state level. It affects judges in the Supreme Court, judges at a smaller level. So
it affects them how?
Because it creates this ripple effect of the mindset that we're adopting. Immigrants get treated like shit. Mexicans get put on planes and handcuffed and called criminals, even though they don't even know who the fuck is a criminal and who the fuck isn't. Half of these is probably moms fucking dying trying to save 8 kids that has been shipped out their houses, scared to death, handcuffed in planes, deported to Colombia, taken back. He's treating immigrants and minorities, and all of them are grouped in one big category called minorities, like they're not worthy of being treated with dignity, like they're not humans, like they're not criminals, and that's the tone he's setting.
They are criminals.
No, but how do you know that? What makes them criminals?
Because they broke the law when they came over here.
BJ, there's a lot of laws that people break on a regular basis. That doesn't make them.
Did they break the law?
Being handcuffed.
Did they break the law?
By what? Not having their papers. By missing one. You've broken.
Are they illegal? Is that breaking the law? Coming over here illegally? Is that breaking the law?
Being handcuffed and pushed out the country on a plane and kicked to you.
Yes, it is illegal.
So all right. Let me get this straight. If y'all so concerned about that, why their own countries don't want them back? Their own countries not accepting.
Their own countries doesn't want to. The same countries used to accept repatriation flights under Biden. Even though it started to be fit during the Biden presidency, there was claims that they weren't treating them well and they were handcuffing them on planes. Before that,
if America is not treating them well,
treated like that and thrown on them like.
If America is not treating them well, take your people back.
We can't set that precedent that America can do whatever.
America is not
with what they call criminals and then toss it to each country. They can't accept the precedent. There's a reason Russia, Iran, all these powerful countries actually have the ability
I can't understand the fact that these Colombian president and everybody, they're so concerned about their people being mistreated, but they're gonna send them back to the people that's mistreated. Would you send the Palestinians back to Netanyahu for being mistreated? No.
If I was Noor, no. If I was a president of a country, yes, because politics is different. This is not a personal decision you're making. It's a precedent you're setting that we will accept whatever pile of shit America piles up in a plane, treats them like whatever, kills them, rapes them, tortures them. It's just setting a precedent that we don't give a fuck what you do to our people. You're allowed to do that. They can't accept it. There's a way to send these flights back, and they don't have to be military flights. It was always in commercial flights. Why would you do it in military flights? To flex America's big
What do you
muscle.
say? Yeah, I can see it now.
Country? Why they got to be in military flights? Is that not threatening in and of itself? Threatening to other countries that you're dumping people on me that are abused and in military flights? You want every country to just sit down and cower down and say, yes, America, whatever you want to preserve your national security?
It's their people, Nora.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So when you want, so what you hold on. What you want America to do with them?
Put them in a commercial flight. When you actually find people, you don't need to. This whole raids bullshit is crazy. This whole fishing them out.
Raids bullshit.
Yes.
Raids bullshit when they, you know. Don't you see the motherfuckers that they're raiding, the house they're raiding? Don't you see these dudes got murder charges? These dudes got rape charges, attempt murders, and they was let out of jail. They were supposed to be held in these jails, and they was let out during the Biden administration.
They were let out of jail
on them, and they let these dudes go. And these dudes up there in Boston, the Mexicans up there in Boston. That's the only one I watched. And Chicago. These niggas is violent murderers and criminals. What are you talking about?
Sort of like the January 6th people that just got pardoned.
I mean,
they didn't do those. They didn't do that. They didn't kill the
who they killed. Who the January 6th rioters killed?
They didn't kill the officers.
No.
They didn't commit crimes.
Yeah, they committed crimes. Yeah,
okay.
That's why they got locked up. They committed crimes, but they didn't kill nobody. They're not murderers and stuff.
Well, they did. But it's all right for him to release. It's all right for him to release those people.
Yeah, you trying to compare two different things. You're trying to compare two different things. We're talking about people that's in a country illegally, and then you're talking about American citizens. Now, him pardoning them people, he pardoned them people. I knew he was going to pardon them people. They was riding for him. That's common sense. Just like Biden pardoned his family for all the crooked stuff they done, all the crimes they committed.
And
he pardoned them for future crimes. I'm not even saying nothing about that. That's his family. Just like he pardoned his son. I ain't complaining about that. That's his son.
You talk about people in an insurrection that led to the death of multiple people versus his biological son. That has nothing to do with each other. This is not his family. We talking
about pardons. I'm just talking about the pardon part. Right,
but that has nothing to do with him pardoning the January 6th shit. The January 6th shit was not his family. Him firing.
I'm not even trying to compare it. I'm just talking about pardons. When people get pardons, when people pardon people, they pardon them for a reason. Those was his people. Yeah, they committed crimes or whatever, but they did what they did in support of him. Of course, he gonna pardon them. His son broke all types of crimes, the same crimes that we go to jail for. Matter of fact, the same crimes his father put in place to send all these black men in prison for the same crack cocaine that he's smoking. He's not going to jail. I didn't complain about that. That's a slap in the face. Nobody complained about it. Actually, nobody said nothing, and he lied. Kurt said how much Trump is a liar. Biden lied, said he wasn't going to pardon him. Then turned right back around and pardoned him. I ain't complaining about that. I don't do no complaining. I just keep it pushing. I just pay attention. But it's just funny to me how all of a sudden Trump is so evil and so devilish and so satanic, but everybody on the other side is doing all the devilish shit, the satanic shit.
And yet you can't name anything. Except for if you consider
abortion. You see how easy it is for me to name something? You ask me to name something, abortion.
What about it?
They're for abortion.
Okay.
That's demonic.
Well, but that's not for you to decide what the other person decides. That's not on you. That should be left up to the person and the family of the person. It don't matter. It don't matter. Abortion is wrong, right or wrong. You're killing a baby. It's wrong. But didn't you just say that you didn't trip off of the crack allegedly that Biden brought it? But you're gonna. I guess that the crack didn't affect you. So why is it that someone who, for whatever reason, wants an abortion? Why does your opinion matter what they do? Because you're not gonna let their opinion or their view of them matter to you, right? Because abortion is murder. It's that simple. I don't see how it's so hard to understand that.
abortion is murder. Why are we so for the murder of children?
But it's not your decision.
I didn't say it was. Is abortion right or wrong? I'm asking you, Terrence.
It's for that person to make.
I'm asking you. What do you think? I'm asking you what you think.
It's not my decision to make. Regardless of how I feel about it, it's not my decision to make. It's that person's decision for whatever reason.
We all understand that, but I mean, if we're gonna sit up here and have a conversation, and I'm asking you what you think about something, you tell me it's not your decision. It don't make sense.
You can't even have a kid. Like if men were in the position of women and they were the one carrying the baby, no way in hell would a woman have ever been able to force that man to carry a full-term pregnancy and deliver the baby because they think that little cell is a human life. It wouldn't have happened.
I'm not forcing.
You don't even know what it's like. I don't even care about anybody's opinion on what it's like to. If you were carrying a baby for a month, there's different situations. Like it's contextual. If you were carrying a baby for a month and they told you it might affect your health, and it was a 40% chance, and that baby was just a month, it was a couple of cells. That's a personal decision to make.
It's not about forcing anyone to do anything. The question is abortion right or wrong?
It's a stupid question because it's not binary. It's contextual. Abortion in certain situations.
This is
right.
This is
no.
crazy.
We did
they can't even answer if abortion is right or wrong.
The answer that you want. That's
all.
Crazy.
1 month abortion versus a 1 day abortion is the same act. An abortion that it was gonna be of a baby that was gonna become a human being the day after versus the first day that the sperm.
We don't even need all of that. We don't need all of that.
It's the same to you.
If you can't answer if abortion is right or wrong, don't worry about it then. If y'all can't answer if it's right or wrong, then I understand why y'all trying to explain abortion to me. I don't need an explanation. I'm just asking you whether you think abortion is right or wrong.
And it's not my decision to make.
That's it.
I know that is it. It's not. We're just not giving the answer that you want. It's not my decision to make. Right. It's not up to me.
I'm not even asking you to make a decision. What y'all saying doesn't make sense. What you're saying now don't make sense. I'm not asking you to make a decision. I'm asking you for an answer on the question. Is abortion right or wrong? I didn't ask you to have an abortion. I didn't ask you if this woman should have an abortion. That's asking you to make a decision. I'm asking you for an answer. Is abortion right or wrong? Somebody in the chat tell me if abortion is right or wrong.
It doesn't matter what they say.
Off life support, right or wrong?
So taking someone off life support is right or wrong?
Yeah, answer that, BJ. Right or wrong?
That's not the same thing.
It is the same thing. It's right in certain contexts and it's wrong in certain contexts. Even murder, I would say murder is right in certain circumstances. If somebody had a gun to my head, murder is right.
That's not the same thing either.
It is the same thing.
No, it's not.
How is it different?
If your loved one is on life support and you can't afford to keep them on life support, you probably have to take them off life support, right?
Now he's bringing in the Ford.
Yeah, but what if they just look miserable? What if they're in pain?
I'm not taking me personally. I can answer one at a time, y'all. I can answer any question. Especially up here. I'm not going to get up here and act like I can't answer this. I can't answer that. I can answer anything y'all ask me. So if I have a loved one on life support, I don't even want to be specific about it. But if I have a loved one on life support and you saying that loved one look miserable, I'm not going to take them off life support because they look miserable. Actually, I'm not taking my loved one off life. No, the answer is no. That's how easy it is. The answer is no. I'm not taking my loved one off life support. No. That's the answer for that. Abortion is wrong, and I'm still pro-choice. That's how easy it is, man. Abortion is wrong, and I'm still pro-choice. That's how easy it is to answer the question.
You had to think of a response. That delay for you to come up with it, you just doubled down because you were hesitant. You just doubled down, and that's what I've been saying.
What he talking about?
I know you don't. I believe that I know you don't.
It's called thinking before you speak.
You just double down because you're trying to save face because you was a little hesitant.
I don't have to save face because one thing about it, let's get this straight. I don't have to save face about nothing. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. And there's no right or wrong here. There's no right or wrong here. I probably should have said that in the beginning. There's no right or wrong here. It's all about your opinion.
Let me say something.
Y'all asked me a question, so I would like to think about my answer because I'm telling the truth.
You
Somebody
asked-
that's
trying
just
to think
lying
of
and
an
shooting
answer.
from the hip, they could just
It sounded like
gonna say it. But I want
it
to
just
think
sounded
about it.
like
I
he
had
was
to think
trying to
about it.
think of an answer.
Okay,
Go
let
ahead,
me
Kurt.
say something. You asked the question, is abortion right or wrong?
Yeah.
Answer to that question is abortion is a choice. You know, it's a choice between that person and the doctor. You know what I'm saying? It's not, like you said, it's not a right or wrong, but it's not my choice to make.
I didn't ask you
It's
to make a
it's
choice.
not my
I'm
choice to
not
say,
asking none of y'all to make a choice. Simple.
well,
Is
you
abortion
ask,
right or wrong? That's it.
there's some more stuff.
I'm not asking for y'all to make a decision on abortion. I'm not asking that. But look,
Yeah,
I got
well,
some. I had looked something up.
it's
I just
right
remembered.
for the
I had looked
person
something up
who
because y'all was
is
talking
needed
about
for.
DEI earlier, and y'all was talking about minorities and women and black people and all that. So DEI, this for you too, especially Kurt.
That thing
According
you
to the U.S. Department of Labor, number one that is benefited is white women. And when they say others, that falls under Latino and Hispanic people. Number two is Asian American. Number three is Native Americans. Kurt, I guess you fall under that because you Bigfoot.
a ruler.
Number four is individuals with disabilities. Number five is veterans. Number six is LGBTQ plus community. Number seven, last but not least, is Black Americans. For y'all
Wait,
DEI, for
And
y'all
where,
DEI people,
where did you
y'all
get
so
that
worried
from?
about DEI. He took away DEI. It affects me. You never even benefited from DEI.
What,
Never.
where did that source? Where are you getting
According
the
to the
source
U.S.
from?
Department of Labor.
The U.S. Department of Labor.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for y'all DEI people in the chat too. You too, Josh. Everybody that was worried about DEI. And if DEI came in 1965, what did black people do before 1965?
I need the exact statistic. Half these statistics don't make sense, BJ. They compare numbers. How are you comparing the numbers of a white majority country to black people? Obviously, they're not percentages. I'll bet you anything they're not percentages. The U.S. Department any U.S. department can skew any statistic.
All I know is I'm looking stuff up. I'm doing the research
Is
on
it
certain stuff.
percentages or numbers? Because that's critical. Because
No,
U.S. statistics is bullshit.
All I know is I'm looking it up and I'm getting the data from
All right,
US
let me get
Department of
numbers and let me
Labor.
show you how the numbers is gonna be wrong.
I mean, whenever it don't go your way, it's numbers and statistics and all that.
That's a very known fact. If you're relying on statistics from a media source and you're not seeing how they calculated their statistics, it's 90% wrong.
The U.S. Department of Labor.
All right, you go. Let's see. Wait, I'm gonna just shut up until I pull
Now, yeah, look it up. Now, also, y'all mad about what else y'all was mad about? The pause, the hold on the funding and all that, the federal funding. Well, he's doing like an audit. Y'all ran businesses before, whatever. When you audit, sometimes you gotta stop everything. Hold on, we're not doing nothing. We're not writing no more checks right now. Hold on. I gotta see where this money come. And they found out a whole bunch of shit. They found out that they were spending $500 million to the World Health Organization for nothing. He also found out that they sending $50 million worth of condoms to fucking Hamas in Gaza.
What was the nothing?
These are the things you find out.
This is
when
a country,
you put some shit on hold and you go through the books. These are some of the things you find, and they're gonna keep finding stuff out. These are some things you find out. Now, y'all wasn't mad when he was spending 20, 40, 60, 90 billion to Ukraine and Israel and all that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Go ahead, Noah.
This is not a country. This is the key difference between running a country and running a business. You cannot click pause to run an audit. Things must continue. Federal funding caused a freeze.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That's what we need.
And why
That's
did
America
it
needs.
last 2 days? Why did every department of the city start in the whole of the United States start quaking when it happened? Why did everything stop?
This is exactly what America needs. Something different. That's exactly what America needs. Something different. That's all.
If that's what it needed.
Yeah, because we damn sure don't need to spend $50 million on condoms for Hamas.
And where did you get that at? Where did you get that at?
What is that?
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
Where did you read that at?
No evidence that 50 million was designated.
So I'm just making this up. You said
no,
earlier
it's a
you
news
saw
article,
everything.
but there's no
You didn't even want Terrence ain't answering no questions. So, and you said you seen everything earlier, so y'all had to see.
The White House press
you're
secretary,
reading
and it was
like-
claimed to have no evidence. The White House is lying.
You're reading.
So now the White House is lying. So what? Don't even look at the White House. Don't even pay
I'm
attention
not saying
to them.
that. People are saying that. The White House press secretary, whose sole position is to manipulate Americans, that's what a press secretary is. They've read the articles about it. Everybody says there's no evidence behind that statement. They just be making statements. So we can't take
did you believe what the press secretary was saying before, the black one, the Haitian lady? Biden's
I
press
never believed
secretary,
anybody.
did you believe what she was saying? All the stuff she was saying?
I've never believed. What did she
I'm
say?
still waiting to know
It's
the
amazing
source
to
that
me.
you got the information.
It's amazing to me how y'all pick and choose and just order hypocrisy, man, with this administration. What you said, Terrence?
I'm still I'm waiting on the source that you got your numbers from.
The press secretary.
Can I clarify?
The press secretary. I thought y'all saw this. You said you seen you said you seen Trump doing whatever he was doing to the minorities and women. I'm watching the same stations you're watching. I'm looking at the same stuff you're looking at, Terrence. They said it.
Yeah, but we also know that they're there to push their narrative, to make the people believe that this type of spending is going on. Unless you
all right,
have
so they lying about everything then.
100%.
Okay, so then they're lying about the DEI then too. Don't believe that. Don't believe, and the shit that they're doing to the minorities and the women, they're lying about that too. They're not really doing nothing to the minorities and the women.
I didn't get that from the press secretary. I got that.
I'm talking to Terrence. I'm talking to Terrence on that one. You ain't say that. I'm talking to Terrence.
You say what?
Since we're not believing nothing they say.
What you say now?
This is ridiculous, man. Now it's to the point where we watch the White House, we criticize him for everything he say, but we don't believe what he say. That's crazy.
That's the reason why we criticize him.
That's crazy.
I would think.
Why you criticizing someone you don't believe? Why even listen to someone you don't believe?
That's because he's the president, and what he is saying is going to affect me in somehow, some way. So of course
he's lying though. He's lying.
Yeah, what was that?
He's lying.
Yeah, we all know he's lying. They said I forgot the number of lies they counted, but he told more lies in his presidency than the person can tell in their whole entire life.
So and Trump said so he was lying about this too. The 14th Amendment was meant for children of slaves. He lied about that too.
Where did you get it at? I'm like, when you do that, just let us know.
What happened?
Okay.
What you said, Noah?
I said that's not entirely true. The 14th Amendment was meant for 3 categories of people initially. It was meant for like the kids of foreign military. If you have kids in America and you're from a foreign military, you weren't.
Kurt, you gotta put your phone on mute or something, Kurt.
Go ahead. And it was meant for foreign diplomats and the kids of foreign diplomats. And I think Native Americans came first. It was meant for Native Americans weren't subject to U.S. jurisdiction. And then there was some debate about whether it was going to apply to kids of slaves. But if you actually look up the 3 main categories when the 14th Amendment was actually written, it was meant to exclude these 3 categories. And the Trump administration is trying to include kids of illegal immigrants into that category. I wouldn't really. Children of slaves was never really included in that, in the Supreme Court. There was never a case.
You said they were never included?
No, they were never excluded from being subject to U.S. jurisdiction in the U.S. Supreme Court, as far as I know. I know it's just these 3 categories, and then they tried to include illegal immigrants recently, which would overrule the Constitution.
I thought, y'all. I gotta send somebody. Go ahead. I hear you though.
But yeah, I don't think
you're the only person that disagree with that.
That the 14th Amendment was meant to include citizenship for sons of slaves.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone else disagree with that yet. Yeah. Hold on. Matter of fact, I want to look up. I don't even know what the 14th Amendment is.
I only know that because I was reading the recent case. The 14th
What's
Amendment.
What's the 14th Amendment? No.
Birthright citizenship. That's anybody born in the U.S., born on U.S. soil, subject to U.S. jurisdiction and has a passport, except for those categories that are not subject to U.S. jurisdiction. It's phrased something like that. And the phrase not subject under U.S. jurisdiction includes those 3 subcategories I mentioned. Let me see. Yeah, it says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside.
So you think he's wrong for getting rid of that too?
I mean, it has some merits, but you can't get one. It's in the Constitution. If we're actually going to treat the Constitution like a Bible, the way most Americans and most Republicans want to, then it 100% conflicts with the Constitution. Number 2, even if we were to appeal the Constitution, I think the way that he's going about it is very stupid. Like it can't be a ban on birthright citizens. There's people that are here on valid visas, on student visas, on work visas, that have kids and can't just have a kid that, if your kid is born in America and they aren't able to get citizenship in their home country, like you're just going to create a class of stateless kids because their family is born in America, they work in America. You can't ask every family to uproot its life and go all the way across the world because you don't want to give their kid the citizenship, even though
I was going to read that out, Will.
Okay.
Yeah, and America is the only country that's going through this.
Yeah, but
Maine said
I'm
that's
against the
absolutely
birthright.
what the 14th Amendment was for, and like every progressive movement by blacks, other groups benefit more. That's a fact, man. What you were saying, Terrence?
I said, yeah, I'm against the excuse me, the birthright. You know, just based off of how the land was acquired. So yeah, I'm not for that as well.
Kurt, what you think?
The 14th Amendment, okay, from what I understand, is saying that if you were born on this land and on American soil, you are an American citizen. So is it saying that?
So that's 2 different things, right, Noah? Birthright citizenship and 14th Amendment.
No,
That's
it's the same. It's the same.
Okay.
The 14th Amendment is the source of the birthright citizenship.
Okay. Go ahead, Kurt.
And see, the laws in America are so oblique because they change them when they get in power. It's the same thing as, for as long as I can remember, for the majority of my life, and I think I'm the oldest one on the panel, Roe versus Wade was established law. It was confirmed by the Supreme Court in five generations, 5 decades. But now that this evangelical movement into the Supreme Court, they've decided to take away a woman's right to autonomy to her own body. So they change the laws when it fits their needs.
All right, so you talking about Roe versus Wade now?
Right. Well, no, I'm saying the laws as they stand in America under the Constitution. The Constitution seems to be a piece of paper that normally changes with the generational thought. We do have a president in office now that, because one of his major bases is the evangelical Christians, and they want to believe that abortion is wrong, they have went into the Constitution, Roe versus Wade, and got rid of it, saying that it's wrong. But every other Supreme Court justice, all the way back to as far back as I can remember, had always confirmed that to be a right to a woman to autonomy to her own body. So they changed that. Now if they can go back 50 years and change laws that were established back then, they could go back another 50 years and then change the law and say blacks are no longer considered human.
Well, they never changed that law. That's still in the Constitution. That's
but I'm not saying they haven't. I said, but if they seem to think that they have the power to change laws, then they could change that law as well.
You
Except
you just I'm not with the fear mongering, man. I'm not with all that. We too what we done
But
became a
but see,
weak
this
race
is
of we done became a weak race of people, man. Real talk, man. We have. Go ahead, Terrence.
I agree because some of us just tend to believe, bits and pieces and don't want to get the full story. And some of us sell us out and double down on things for their own personal gain. I guess it's probably not to look stupid or feel wrong, but I agree. I agree. We have become a group of people um, that have been the subject of the fear mongering. That's how Trump got in office with the fear mongering. But back in the day when my mom and grandparents were growing up, the communities were a lot more, tight knit. So as the generation goes on, I think we lose something that the other generation, benefited. But the birthright situation, if it was the law of the land, and these people, have established lives here, um, then I believe that they should have the right to be able to stay here. Like I said, it's just a little bit deeper back to how this land was acquired for me, because I think we were all be immigrants except for the Indians, technically. So, yeah, that's why I'm not for what he's doing with the birthright. And that's why it's probably on hold by the federal judge.
So Kurt, you went back to Roe versus Wade. Okay, so it's four people on this panel. Uh, no, only one person was able to answer if abortion is right or wrong. You keep talking about pro-choice, women the right to choose, and all that. When did black people become so worried about having an abortion? Why was Kamala Harris at her campaign rallies having mobile abortion clinics pull up to her rallies where women could go have abortions?
The reason why it's so valid.
Why? Hold on, Kurt. I'm not finished. Hold on. Let me give y'all a chance to go. Why is that? Why is that this woman with no kids was running on an agenda for y'all to have the right to kill y'all babies? I've been told Nora she's a witch. But why was that the agenda of the minorities and the Democrats?
But
and why is it that Trump, the racist, is the one that's against killing black babies? Because black women have the largest amount of abortions in America. Black women.
Every state that abortion was on the ballot, all the states voted in favor of, just for the record, every last state,
I didn't even hear what you. Every state voted for what?
Voted in favor every time abortion was on the
favor
ballot.
Of what?
Of abortion. Every state.
Every state voted in favor
to give the
of
woman
abortion.
the right to choose. Even in the
I don't even see how that's possible. Aren't there states? So why Georgia don't have abortion?
Because the people didn't vote to have the abortions.
You just said every state voted for pro-abortion.
Every state that had abortion on the ballot, the states overwhelmingly upheld the woman's right to choose.
How do you know that? How would you find that out?
And the same way you found how you know you're looking on yours. That's
no,
the same way
I'm dead serious, bro. Like, come on.
I'm alive. The same way.
Okay, never mind. Because we just like I'm asking a question. I'm serious. I'm not playing.
You got it right there. Look it up.
I don't have nothing right nowhere. Listen, when I say something, I'll tell you. He just asked me where I got my source from. I said it. Everything y'all asked me, I said. Why is it so hard for y'all to explain yourselves or say what y'all talking about?
Okay, let me clarify that for a minute.
I don't understand.
Okay, clarity.
You don't want to understand it.
Hold up, Terrence.
Go ahead.
Missouri, during this past presidential election, we had what was it, Proposition 3,
Amendment 3,
which was a woman's right to abortion. Because remember when they overturned Roe versus Wade, Donald Trump said, we're going to send it back to the states so that the states can choose whether they want to legalize or make abortions illegal. So Missouri had a Proposition 3 on the ballot. Certain states didn't. Certain red states, like the Republican, the red ran, even though Missouri is a red state, they put it on the ballot because a lot of people was pushing for it. But some states didn't. But every state that put abortion on the ballot as a state a referendum voted overwhelmingly to legalize abortion because they overturned it in Roe versus Wade and sent it back down to the states for the states to decide, or the people in that state to decide whether abortion should be legal or not. But I still don't understand how is it they can overturn established law. That's the part that I'm getting to.
Because they wrote it. That's how.
No, because they got some. They got a.
How is that so hard to? How is that so hard to believe? They wrote the Constitution.
And that's the same thing that Kirk said. I agree because they wrote it, and as Kirk was saying, and they continue to write it to benefit their conservative agenda.
Yeah,
right, because it was an established law, just as they wrote black men had a right to be free. And so they went back into the law and overturned which was established law all the way up to the Supreme Court. But just as we've seen in Donald Trump, even when he gets found guilty, he keep on appealing and delaying and getting them to change it for his own benefit. You know, it's the same thing with the Gene Curl thing. They found him overwhelmingly guilty of defaming that woman, and he has to pay $35 million. Even the Supreme Court ruled that he got to pay, but he want to appeal it again.
All right, so I bet y'all agree with this too. I seen the thing on X where the users predict that Donald Trump next move would be to take away Black History Month. What you think about that, Nora? You think that'll be one of Trump's next move?
I think he's smarter than to do that, and I don't think he'll do a move that anybody is predicting. Not to say that I think he's really trying to preserve Black History Month, but I think that could be a serious turning point for his support among Black people. I don't think there's any way anybody could defend that move just because of what I've seen as like its perceived importance to Black people. Like I don't think he's dumb enough to make such a risky move.
That would be a dumb move, huh?
It would be pretty stupid. But to answer your question on why Kamala had her mobile clinics, BJ.
Yeah, why she had mobile abortion clinics at her campaign
If you
rally.
just read, no matter how you feel about abortion, BJ, do you agree with the fact that sometimes carrying a pregnancy to full term can be life-threatening for a woman?
No.
Okay, so that's just disagree about science. So there's no point to go on. Well, it's a thing. I'm not about to pull up a journal and.
No.
But the situation is that when you look up,
all right, so let me ask you this: what's
access to maternal health care for a Black woman? It is disproportionately less. America is the only industrialized nation that has such a stark difference between the access of Black women to maternal health care versus other races. And I think Kamala, that was definitely the agenda that she was pushing. She wasn't pushing abortion.
So
abortion, not abortion.
All right, so now it's to the point where Black women are having all these complications with pregnancies and stuff, right? So why don't just take better precautions on not getting pregnant then? Why don't we teach that or preach that or be pro that?
What about
the answer to that is kill it?
Wait,
because we might die during pregnancy. If you're so worried about the complications during the pregnancy, get on birth control.
Okay, so
you can't be that worried about it.
Well,
birth control comes with many health risks as well.
If it's your first time pregnancy, you may think that you're healthy and that pregnancy may change that. However, in Texas, there is a complete total ban on abortion, even in the case of rape. Um, but this person is going to have to be forced to bring this baby and raise this child, put the child up for adoption. Or if this lady who, this woman has 3 other children, and this, puts her to make the decision that she has this baby, there's a possibility that she could die. I believe that those decisions should be surely um, up to those like her to the doctors and those people's family to make the decision. I don't think that we should, regardless of how we feel, should be passing judgment on someone making the decision in the best interest of what they feel, just like we make decisions in the best interest of people.
Of course, and with a decision like that, if somebody knows that her life is in danger and she needs to get rid of that baby because her life depends on it, by removing access to abortion, you're not solving the killing problem. I've seen women travel from Jordan to Saudi Arabia, to Dubai, to Egypt, to Turkey to find out a way, meet one doctor that's willing to do their operation. If a woman needs an abortion, she will get an abortion, whether she gets it safely or in an unsafe way or does it with a hanger. We've seen throughout history in every single country across the world, if a woman's life depends on getting an abortion, she will go anywhere. She will get that abortion done in the bathroom with the first doctor she finds to agree to do it.
The same
You're not
woman,
solving the problem by banning it. You're just
the
making it
same
more
woman
dangerous.
that's so worried about the complications from pregnancy will stick a hanger up her vagina.
If that pregnancy is what she's been told is going to kill her, like it's a thing. People go to the doctor and they say, you cannot carry this baby. You're not capable of doing it. It's not something that.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know anyone that went through that. I don't know.
So if we're gonna put all of
I
that,
don't either. But I don't.
I'm not
doubt
saying
a
I'm not saying they don't go through it.
Right,
But
right.
I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on something that I haven't even witnessed or know a girl. I'm talking about from my whole hood, family, anywhere. I don't know one woman that had complications, near-death experience on delivering their child. That's demonic. That's the devil. That's a devilish spirit putting that in your mind. That's all.
What, do you support the death penalty?
I mean, in some and it's a delay because I'm thinking.
I can tell.
It's in some cases, yeah, but I'd rather them live forever in a cell and think about what they did. Now, if it's a situation where this man raped and killed this child and the family could come back and stone them to death or something like they used to do back in the days, then yeah, I'm for that. Yep.
So the person that raped the child, basically, so you're for it, but killing someone, whether it's legal or not, like abortion in the states are legal, is wrong, right? I just wanted to know how you can be in support in certain cases of the death penalty, but not in support of abortion in certain cases.
Because that's easy. Abortion is taking the life of a child. Death penalty is taking the life of someone that committed a heinous crime. Two different things. That's easy.
But didn't you say murder was wrong?
I said abortion is wrong.
No,
I said killing babies. I said murdering babies is wrong. Yes.
We're murder, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think you can have it both ways. If you are in support, if you're pro-life.
I'm pro-life around the board. I believe in God, and God is pro-life. So if you're anti-life, you're demonic.
so are you against?
That you are pro-life, but in certain cases you are for based off of the crime, but you're not, based off of the situation for that woman. You don't share the same sentiments or
No, I said I don't have a problem with them living the rest of their life in a cell. But if we could go back to the old days where this man raped and killed this child and the family is able to stone that man to death, then yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But I see everything wrong with abortion. Yes. I see everything wrong with abortion. Yes.
But that would mean that you're not completely pro-life.
Okay. All right. See how easy that is? All right. Okay.
And there was nothing to, I mean, that was all you could say. So
Yeah.
touche.
Okay. See, I don't. It's nothing to sugarcoat. I don't care about none of this. I'm not to mean like I don't care about none of this. But what I'm saying is, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm gonna say how I feel, regardless. I'm gonna say how I feel. Abortion is wrong. Y'all are sitting here trying to justify killing a baby. Even some of the people in the chat are trying to justify killing a baby. Y'all so worried about Trump and his laws and his executive orders, but y'all sitting here justifying killing a baby. Come on, make it make sense.
I mean, you just justified that it's all right for the state to kill a human.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about no murderous criminal. No, I don't care about no murderous criminal.
Okay,
We're not gonna compare niggas on death row to an unborn child. We're not gonna compare niggas on death row to an unborn child. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. You trying to compare niggas on death row to an unborn child.
Unwanted babies tend to
I got one question.
Hold on. Go ahead, Kurt. You ain't say nothing in a while.
I got one question, but I don't really want Nora to hear this. Well, I don't want you to be offended by this. So you against abortion?
Nora tough. She ain't gonna be offended by nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, you against abortion, and this is just to put a little humor in this because it's getting a little heated. You're against abortion, but you're not against a woman swallowing. That's killing baby.
That's a good. At what point
you
is
gotta
the
come better than that, Kurt? Go ahead, Noah.
That's a really good question, Kurt. At what point? What is the difference between a woman that swallows versus a baby 10 minutes into the sperm and the egg fusing? If you want to say, if you want to,
everybody in the chat. This is the world
of. Does this become a baby? A baby is made when the sperm says hello to the egg. That's the second at which it's a baby, and we gotta preserve it at all costs, even at the cost of a grown woman's life.
That's
the second the sperm touches the egg.
Everyone in the chat. This is the world of 2025. I'm sitting here debating with 3 grown people about abortion being wrong, and they're trying to find a way to justify, compare, contrast abortion to all this bullshit, even to the point where now they talking about a woman swallowing. We don't went from the death penalty to a woman swallowing just so abortion could seem right. So killing babies could seem right. We gonna go, well, you will kill, you're pro death penalty, so abortion should be good. Oh, well, you with the woman swallowing, so abortion could be good. Yo, what kind of world are we living in now, bro?
You're pushing science out of a purely scientific debate. The fact that we're having any discussion around abortion and nobody has mentioned the baby's heartbeat, the baby's nervous system, the point at which the baby feels pain, the fact that none of these questions were brought up and we're debating abortion shows that you're just choosing to completely push science out of a scientific debate. A baby does not become a baby when the sperm says hello to the egg. That's not science. That baby is nothing. It's just the same thing as the sperm when it's in the woman's mouth. It's the same thing.
Right.
Obviously,
there's no heartbeat. How is it a baby without a heartbeat?
To have an abortion, the sperm would have to reach the egg, right?
Yes, but it's still no heartbeat.
Okay, so why are we talking about anything else? Why are we talking about swallowing? Why are we talking about swallowing?
Because up until the point that group of cells develops a heartbeat and a nervous system,
right?
Effectively, chemically, sperm,
it's not a child.
Egg, it's the same little mix. It's nothing chemically.
No, it's not, because what I'm talking about, I'm against abortion. Abortion only happens when the sperm reaches the egg. So if that's the case, I'm against condoms.
You should be.
No, I'm not against condoms. I just said take precautions not to get pregnant.
Condoms aren't pro-life. If you push life that much and everything anti-life is demonic, condoms are very anti-life.
Take precautions not to get pregnant.
No life with condoms.
Take precautions not to get pregnant.
Okay, but so what about the little young girl that get raped by her uncle and to get pregnant? What the
You know,
consequence she take?
he's pro-life.
What you saying, Terrence?
No, I was saying you was pro-life, so she gonna have to deliver.
No, that's an exemption. You're wrong again. You got to stop assuming, Terrence. That's an exemption. Kurt, in Georgia, that's one of the exemptions. You get 3 exemptions. It's incest, rape, and medical conditions. You get 3 exceptions for abortion.
Yeah, but in
But you
a
didn't
lot
say
of
that
the states,
earlier.
there is no
You said you
exemption.
was against it. Period.
I
You
am
didn't
against
give
it,
it.
but I'm human, bro. I'm human. I'm against it. I'm against a woman just getting abortion after abortion after abortion because she keep getting pregnant and she don't want to have a child.
You know one woman that did
Or
that?
she think the nigga gonna leave, or she don't know who her baby daddy is. Okay, but if the little girl got raped by her uncle, he should be dead. He should be killed. And if she decides, I would tell that little girl, yo, put it up for adoption. That's what I would do. But if she decides to get an abortion, who am I to say she wrong? I'm not making a decision for no one. I'm not
But
making a
it was-
decision for no one. When did having abortions become right? When?
Well, but earlier when I brought it up, you were against it. So, but now in certain exceptions, and that's why I asked the question about the death penalty. That's why I drew the contract. You was against abortions. It sounded like earlier at all costs, regardless of. But now it sounds like you do have some
Because
exceptions.
because you're being more specific. So my answer is going to change with your specific, with the scenario. My answer will change with the scenario. It's a different scenario.
So when I said earlier that I believe it's up to that person to make that choice, you just said the same thing. So I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, when that person get raped, if the girl
I
is
mentioned
raped
I said
by her
that.
uncle,
I'm
I'm not gonna tell her. I'm not telling anybody whether to have a child or not. Period. But I understand why she would have an abortion. I understand that.
So, but you don't understand that if the mother was in jeopardy of her losing her life.
I understand that too. There's 3
But you
exceptions
did-
that
but-
I will understand it.
But you didn't say that earlier.
medical. I said what I said. Medical and rape
You didn't.
and incest. I understand if they get an abortion. I don't understand why y'all are so pro-abortion and why y'all acting like the woman is losing her rights to choice.
No, we said just what you said. We believe that it's their choice to make that decision. And you just said the same thing. So I'm a little.
And I'm still against abortion, so you ain't even got to try to figure it out. I'm still against abortion. And if the little girl got raped by her uncle and she decides to get an abortion, I understand it.
But you wanted me to decide.
I didn't want you to decide nothing.
Right or wrong.
I didn't want you to decide nothing. That's
what
you're not understanding, bro. I don't understand where the disconnect is. I never asked you for a decision. I asked you if abortion was right or wrong.
Right.
I asked you if abortion was right or wrong, and you can't answer that. So I don't even know why we're still talking about abortion.
I answered the same way that you did.
I said it was wrong.
Yeah, but it's okay.
It's still wrong. Is drinking
okay.
alcohol right or wrong?
That's up to that person.
All right, never mind. Kurt, what you got? Never mind, man.
You just
I mean, you can't have it both ways.
I
got you.
I'm still on the side of a woman's right to autonomy to her own body. If she gets pregnant by an old rotten nigga or whatever, and she don't want to have that baby, then she should have a choice. But by the same token, I think that it should be, if you go into a consensual relationship with a person, then that choice should be between the two because it should affect both of their lives. But a lot of times men just drop their thing and then they drop baby and responsibility and they gone. They leave a woman in a financially binding situation where she has to take care of a baby that she didn't agree to have by herself. So if we're going to take away her right, whether she should have it or not, then we should take away his right to have it or not. You know, it should be a choice between man, woman, and the doctor. You know, whether it's good financially, you know, because I would prefer a woman to get an abortion than to bring a child in this world that she don't want or can't take care of. Then we got a whole bunch of old dumb motherfuckers in the street who parents ain't took care of them because they didn't want them.
That's demonic. What you
It's
just said
not.
is demonic.
It's the more demonic to have a whole bunch of kids out here in the street who mother gave birth to them, don't want them, beat their ass.
They don't gotta be in the street. Put them up
What
for
they gonna
adoption.
be?
Put them up for adoption. They don't gotta be in the street.
We could have a whole
Come on,
2 hour
man.
debate
Make
about
make it make
adoption.
sense, man. Like this is becoming just like elementary. What y'all saying, bro? It's really becoming adolescent, man.
Again,
Oh,
I
if
would,
she
if
get
it
pregnant, by a bullshit ass nigga, what are we talking about? God damn.
well, I was talking about the fact that you did admit that there are some exceptions. When, like I said earlier,
We already went through that, Terrence. Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying. I mean,
We
but
already
that's what we're
went back
talking
and
about.
forth about that already. Yes, if she got raped, if the little girl gets raped by her uncle and she wants to have an abortion, yes, I don't see no problem with that. Abortion
the
is still
whole
wrong.
the whole thing that,
I
that
mean,
happened.
it's a lot of contradicting. It sounds
It,
like, but go ahead.
I'm a contradictum nigga.
well,
I can
see,
see.
I'm a contradictum nigga.
thing about
Yeah,
it is
I can see.
is why
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is why this is why this whole issue went into the court because there are different opinions on when that sperm becomes a life.
Let me
You
ask you
know,
this, Terrence. Do you think men can have children?
Do I think men can have children?
Yeah,
What do you mean? Biologically?
yeah.
Like them giving birth
That would be biologically.
themselves? I mean, I haven't. No, I don't. No.
Do you think men can give birth?
I mean, what do you like? What you mean give birth? Like give
All
life?
right, never mind.
Right? Yeah. 'Cause I mean, yeah, and I gave you the answer. I mean,
Kurt,
I've never heard
I
of a
didn't
man
hear no. What
have.
was your answer?
I never heard of it. I said no to me ever knowing if a man could have.
Oh,
No,
you said no. I didn't. I missed that. All right.
yeah,
Kurt, I
I
asked
know
you that before.
yeah,
you
men
just asked it.
cannot biologically have a child.
And that's why I was trying to get some clarification. Like, what do you mean?
Somebody should tell P Diddy that though.
Tell P Diddy what?
He can't be trying to produce no babies the wrong way. I'm just joking.
But I'm curious as to where why you asked. Um, or the question you said, can men give birth? I would need to, are you? I'm not understanding exactly what you're asking.
Are you trying?
Um, no, it wasn't no trick question. No, it wasn't no trick question. I see.
No, I didn't say. I was just, I'm just really
I see
curious.
guys
Is
like
there some
Lamont Hill
time?
because the stance you take since you've been on the platform, it got me wondering what you think about other things as well. So that's why I asked you that. But I actually asked a few people. I asked everybody. I asked Noah before. I asked Kurt before too. So it was just
I
your
mean,
turn.
is there some science to, point to something like, that
Huh?
I have? Only time I knew the men can have baby was on the Cosby Show.
Hey, Noah, do we need FEMA to repair the country?
I don't think it should be their responsibility to repair the country. I think
Because Trump is taking FEMA away also, right?
yeah, I think FEMA, my understanding of FEMA was that it was more for disaster response afterwards and more for like dealing with the inequities that result from a disaster and the infrastructure damage, like repairing it after a disaster. It's not really done much to prevent the disasters from happening or build sufficient infrastructure to prevent these disasters from having such impacts. I think they donated a bit. At some point, they wanted them to be like funding infrastructure repairs before a disaster happens, but I've never really seen them do something meaningful in that.
Yeah, because Trump basically is
But they definitely should be removed.
what everyone knows. Well, what I know, FEMA ain't doing nothing.
They're doing something for disaster. Who else is doing something for disaster recovery in
Well, the people in North Carolina said FEMA ain't do nothing for them.
Well, they speaking from the point they expect FEMA to do everything to give them their house back 100%, and it's like
No,
it was.
they don't expect that. You just putting what now? You just saying something to say
I'm
something. They
just
don't
saying,
expect that.
FEMA,
They expect
FEMA,
FEMA to do. If FEMA has a budget of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying, for disaster relief, they're supposed to be doing something. They're supposed to be helping these people. They have a disaster.
well, they do as much as Congress has appropriated with the money to handle not just one disaster, but all disasters all around the world.
No,
FEMA goes home
why would FEMA in America care about disasters around the world?
because
Why
they
would
send people to earthquake disasters. They send people over there when people get buried up under stuff. FEMA is an international organization. You know, it's just like, you know,
so is
sometimes
FEMA in Israel, Palestine?
I don't know if I don't know too much how global they are. But I agree with Nora. I don't think FEMA's job to like fix all the stuff, but in those emergencies, because that's a part of the acronym. I think that when natural disasters happen and earthquakes, I think that's what the purpose that they're there to serve. And up until just right now, currently, they have been doing that. Maybe not to maybe what some people would think that they should or may like, but I think that the overall is there is for the good as opposed to not.
from what I understand, FEMA is just an organization that, when they land on the ground, they give people resources or contacts for resources in order to kind of stabilize themselves during a time of disaster. They're not there to fix somebody's house or, once they come in, like down at Katrina, when they came down there. Of course, they don't have enough money to repair the whole city. They just there to offer, like, okay, we can give you some contacts of some people that can give you some relief. They like counselors. They like, to try to help people get through that disastrous moment. They don't have enough money appropriate to do everything.
No, FEMA is not international. I mean, we don't need it then. We don't need it. If all FEMA is doing is giving them $750, then we don't need FEMA.
They're doing more than that. They're just not doing a job at it.
What else they doing?
They're supposed to be doing everything from start to finish.
You changing up. You telling me what they supposed to be doing.
They do that. They've done that. They've provided shitty shelter. They've provided temporary housing that people said was horrible.
No, the people in North Carolina is
horrible. Everything they've done was always criticized as being horrible. It's mismanaged. There's red tape at every corner. They're never able to actually coordinate with every state and every agency. New Orleans was complaining I think it was New Orleans. Katrina was in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Katrina, they were complaining for months that the communication channels between each state agency that needed urgent like shelters and trailers built, we weren't able to communicate with FEMA effectively. It was a lot of red tape, a lot of barriers. So those were always the criticisms of FEMA for the past 10, 15 years.
I think it's a good thing.
The solution isn't to remove it. Trump just be trying to do these like shock executive orders.
So,
how can we remove it? What's going to happen the next earthquake, the next fire? What's going to happen? Trump going to go build shelters?
Okay, if they remove FEMA, who's going to help North Carolina when they get the next disaster?
Trump already put them in furnished apartments. That's what the North Carolina people saying. Y'all didn't see that neither?
No, Trump put who in apartments?
You think that
the residents of North Carolina is thanking Trump for putting them in furnished apartments?
Who's going to do it when the next time there. So you're saying the government should handle every?
Well, I guess this is what I'm thinking. Because he's cutting all these federal programs, they're going to be saving a lot of money. I seen Elon Musk said something about 100 and something $1 trillion they will be saving in the next 2 years when they get done doing what they're doing. So then they'll have money to help the people.
Half of that money he gonna use for his defense when they get ready to lock him up. Because that's what they've been doing.
He's in
But we
California.
also know that money isn't redistributed.
He's sitting down in California right now with Gavin Newsom and the mayor of LA and all that. People that hate him, you know what I'm saying? But he's sitting down with them and trying to get California right. And he actually telling them, let's do it now. They're saying it's going to take months.
But that was only after, he told them, he gave them some directives. They had to make sure the voter ID law was, the law that people have to have IDs and some other things. And all of those things that he said already existed. According to the
people got to have IDs for what?
To vote.
I'm not even talking about vote. We talking about the fires. I'm talking about the wildfires. He sat down over there. What I said was he sat down over there with Gavin Newsom and the mayor of LA to repair the homes, the town that was destroyed by the wildfires.
And I heard that, but I said only after he had gave out those directives that say that he would release funds or approve it if they did that. Change the voter ID laws to make sure that everyone who was voting had IDs, which that was already the law. But I brought that up to say is if you're going to, you see how you deflected and went right back to, where he sat down with them, this, that, and the other, but you maybe don't have the information about what I just told you. But the fact of it is, he always weaponizes it. If you don't do what he wants you to do, he threatens to withhold it from you. But he did this, and the laws were already on there. So I don't understand the reasoning behind it. Just like I don't understand the reason why some people don't try to get the full story. If you notice, I don't respond to things I don't have the full story on because I don't. But I wish people would do the same.
Well, see, he had a political agenda in order to
we know that.
Okay.
I hear you, Kurt.
In other words, he sat down with Gavin Newsom and said, we can give you some relief, but I have a political agenda and you have to follow that before I release these funds.
Did y'all watch the meeting? Did y'all watch the meeting with him and Gavin Newsom and the mayor?
Yeah.
All right, so he sat down with them and they're trying to come up with some ways to get the stuff done. That's it. I don't know about the voting. He threatened the voters' ID and all that. That was already law. No, I don't know about all that. All I know is the people in LA are displaced. They're angry, and he's sitting there trying to figure something out. That's all I know.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm really not. But I understand that's all you really want to know. Because
what else is there to know, man? You making these generalized blanket statements, and then I ask you a question, you can't answer the question, then you come back and you trying to understand this, you don't understand that. Like, what? When I ask you a question, you don't know. See, this is an informative platform too. So if you say something and I don't know everything, I don't even claim to know everything. But if you say something and I ask you a question like, yo, well, what's that about or something? And if you don't know, then what's the point? I don't understand the point.
I get it. I understand.
I asked you about 3-4 questions already. I keep asking you something, and you like, well, if you don't know already, then I can't explain to you. And
I mean, just like I asked you then. I mean, it's just like it goes to what I was saying, getting a portion of the story, trying to set it up to support your narrative and all. I don't have no narrative,
man. I don't have no narrative about Donald Trump. I don't have no narrative about Donald Trump. I'm just asking y'all if y'all saw this, if y'all know about this. The man is helping. That's it. I don't have no narrative about no white man. I don't care about no Donald Trump to have a narrative about him. Y'all already have your narrative. Frederick Douglass said it is easier to raise children than to fix broken men. So I'm not here to fix broken men. I'm not doing that. However y'all feel about DEI, about Trump or whatever, I'm not trying to change your perspective. We just having a conversation. Your opinion is your opinion, mine is mine. I don't have no narrative about him.
BJ.
I got kids I could mold into, something. What's up?
VJ, the situation with Trump is that even if he's sitting down with Gavin Newsom and doing this, that, if he's talking about removing FEMA, the only federal agency that deals with large-scale disaster recovery, it's just stupid. Like, he's just trying to appeal to those people that, save the government's money, then act like it's all going to go to people. It's not. You need
why would that be stupid?
There's no way that a state as large as America can coordinate. Like, the whole point is that even FEMA was incapable to coordinate these large-scale responses effectively to disasters. Like, the California disaster is limited to the Palisades, and it's generally not, like, it's not crossing multiple states. With hurricanes that have affected multiple states at once, you think Trump can go sit down at tables and pick up phone calls and coordinate these multiple statewide responses?
So what do you want the man that's leading this country to do?
The man needs to figure out what the problems, what the inefficiencies are in these organizations, instead of just trying to say Biden is stupid, everything Biden did is canceled, everything Obama did is canceled, fuck Obamacare, fuck Biden's agencies, fuck DEI. Instead of having that mentality, you look at these things that have already been built and you figure out what their weaknesses are and you build on their weaknesses. You don't just cancel the only federal agency that deals with disaster recovery and then act like you could sit on enough tables and have enough conversations to solve the impact of a hurricane or a fire on millions of Americans.
Ain't nothing wrong with cutting the middleman out.
It's not no middleman. You acting like he's running a 300-person business or even a Fortune 500 company.
America needs to be ran like a business.
No,
you're over here. You understand
the federal state division alone in America is
You're over here because America is like a business. You're over here for capital. You're over here because America is a capitalist country. That's why you're over here.
But Donald Trump,
I bet you would have stayed in Dubai. If you wasn't able to come over here and gain anything from America, you would still be in Dubai.
If Dubai had birthright citizenship, I would be in Dubai. I'm not a citizen of Dubai, even though I was born there, because they don't have birthright citizenship.
Wait, how that work? Hold on. So you mean to tell me Dubai, America is doing what Dubai is not?
Yes, I'm an American citizen because my father was born in California. Because that's why
Dubai is thriving. This is why Dubai is a beautiful country. This is why Dubai is a rich, beautiful, and safe country, because it's kicking everybody out.
Yeah,
they kicked Noah out. Noah was born there and they kicked her out.
Yeah, I mean, I could go there whenever I want with a Jordanian passport like that. Like, I don't have a passport.
But nah, for real though.
But for my American passport, I had to pay a hefty price. 35% of my dad's salary, and everybody who had the passport salary gets paid to America, even when we didn't live in America. So it's not like we got the passport for free either. Americans get a lot of.
How is it that you see it so wrong for America, but the country you was born in did the same thing?
I don't see it wrong. I said unconstitutional. I didn't say wrong. It is unconstitutional.
Dubai has a constitution?
And I know it's unconstitutional.
Dubai has a constitution?
No.
Oh, they don't have no constitution? Yeah, America, man. All right.
Yeah, but even though I just like the legal argument as well, like the only reason I've read about it is because I read the case in the Supreme Court, and it's like the legal arguments are very poor. Like the way that they're approaching is stupid. They're just trying to include, and it's harmful.
I got one question for you.
Moving birthright citizenship.
I got one question for you though, BJ.
I answer all questions, Kurt.
Okay. The question is this: you say we should run this country like a business.
Yep.
So should we be having a person that in business, every business he ran into the ground?
You said what now? Every business he ran what?
He ran into the ground. His college, the hotel, most of the golf courses, he ran them into the ground.
All right, so what you think? Go ahead, land your plane, man. Land your plane. What's your point?
My thing is, you said this country should be ran like a business. which is what he's doing. He's trying to run it like a business. But if he's trying to run it like a business, like the business that he did have, all of them failed.
Well, that's why he's friends with Elon now.
Well, Elon, exactly. He has a team. It's not just Trump. He has a team. Trump is still worth, what is Trump worth? 2-3 billion? So I don't know how much a failure a person could be at 2.23 billion.
Because he stole everything you got. That ain't his money.
Yo, man, yo, Kurt, man, you got to stop that, Kurt. You got to stop that.
Okay.
You got to stop that, man.
Money he got from.
All right, so how he stole it? Figure out how he stole it and try to steal something.
I'm not in the political form. How did he pay for his defense? Through the RC donations from his constituents. That's where he got the money for his lawyers. And most of his lawyers, he didn't even pay them. He got them.
Man,
He didn't
believe
pay
it or
them.
not, the people donated money to him for his lawyers and shit.
They
He got
already-
a lot of money
it's
in
already-
donations.
It's
But
already known.
I don't care where he get his money from, bro. I ain't gonna front.
I'm
I
talking
don't care
about
where he get,
how he ran his business. What about the college he had? It failed. Why? Because he ran it into the ground as a
Trump ain't a
business.
billionaire officially. What does that mean, Josh?
He was given that money
what
to
does that mean,
start
Josh?
with. He was born a billionaire.
He said it officially because it sounds like that when he didn't release his taxes, no one could really pinpoint exactly what he was worth or how much cash he had on hand. I know when he lost that, that suit, it was 500 million, and it was some report that he might not had, you might have had a look at some money, but it wasn't easy for him to come off that 500 million out of his own bank.
He paid the 500 million already?
No.
They got a bond or something like that
Yeah,
from
he
some
was trying
company.
to do something. I forget if this is what Kurt said, trying to get some type of bond, but the reporting and was that he didn't have. You would think that a billionaire, the 500 would be easy to come off of. It probably wouldn't hurt. It would, but it wouldn't. But they was trying to suggest that he probably didn't have. He didn't have that billionaire status like he was suggesting. Sort of like maybe Kanye when he was a billionaire worth $1 billion. But however, when those companies went separate, he lost that billionaire status. So, but I'm curious as to what Josh said about officially.
So y'all would have been down because y'all against the whole DEI thing. So y'all would have been in the Costco's with Al Sharpton. He let a buy-in at the Costco's in Harlem. Matter of fact, Noah, that's close to you. Why you ain't go down there with Al Sharpton with the buy-in? Because Costco is, I guess Costco the only store that didn't accept the
their shareholders, their shareholders overwhelmingly voted. I think it was 98% to keep the DEI protections in place.
They kept the DEI thing.
The shareholders.
I don't got a Costco card, but I would definitely be there if I did. I live right next to an
It don't look like
African-owned
it looked like you ain't need one. It was like 200 of them or something. They bum rushed Costco.
Oh, really?
He couldn't even pay the hooker he lost the case
bum
to.
rushed it.
Yeah, they was deep with Al Sharpton leading the charge. But this another thing. This another thing that gets me mad, man. So we mad. I'm not mad, but y'all upset about the DEI thing. So the answer is to take hundreds of people into Costco's and buy Costco's because their shareholders didn't voted against the DEI thing.
We've talked about this for a while, BJ. We've talked about how Jewish people only support entities that support Jewish people. We've talked about how these are the races that end up succeeding, the ones that do not support people that are actively showing.
Costco, you think
if
Costco?
Any entity shows you that they care about your race, why wouldn't you only shop there? Why would you go to Target?
You think Costco's care about black people?
Well, their shareholders obviously thought enough of black folks to keep it in place.
Nah,
I think they care more than Target.
Their shareholders knew black people's dumb enough to fall for the okie doke and come in there and run in there and spend their money with them instead of spending their money with black-owned businesses in Harlem. And that was a Costco's in Harlem. And you know who Costco's is owned by? BlackRock, Vanguard. When did BlackRock and Vanguard start caring about black people? When? Especially BlackRock. When?
Well, again, the shareholders at 98% voted for it. And the shareholders felt that it was better to have it in place than not.
Yeah, but I don't even care about none of that. Why would we spend our money with Costco's just because they voted against Trump when it's still y'all hate Trump so much, but the people, the shareholders and the people that run in Costco's is just like Trump. It's the same people. They're all the same people.
I don't know if they just like Trump, but they upheld it.
They're worse.
They very well may be. You know, I don't know that, but I think the people going in there was more symbolic to show some unity. You know, that people didn't support those other companies terminated their DUI policy. So I think for me, it was more symbolic, and I support that. Because we can affect that change again. There's enough of us, boycott.
So in 2025, we still looking for symbolism.
I said it was symbolic. Yeah, it's symbolic to show that if we go in numbers, we're going to put our money behind companies that see the value in having these programs in different race and ethnic groups and all of that. So, like I said, I think it was more symbolic than So I'm most definitely for it. It was sort of like the Montgomery bus boycott. What's going on?
Sort of like what?
The Montgomery bus boycott. When the people boycotted it, and the company finally gave in to something.
Terrence, you got an echo. You might have your YouTube on or something. But you said sort of like better? The bus boycott.
Yeah, it get better.
That's better, Will? Yeah.
It's similar to the Montgomery bus boycott, where they boycotted and they were able to get the bus company to make some compromises. So
you still echoing.
That better?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's similar to the Montgomery bus boycott. When those people boycotted and the bus company gave some type of compromise. If enough people stick together on things that they feel that aren't right, or I support people standing up for what they feel is right for all, not just for a group of stuff.
Yeah, so. I gotta disagree with you again, man. I don't support that. That's some bullshit. That symbolic shit, some bullshit. All that's some bullshit. It's 2025. We still running the same bullshit ass playbook with the same bullshit ass nigga, Al Sharpton. I'll let you speak, Terrence. I'll be done in a second. You took hundreds of black people to Costco's. You saying that they support us and whatever, the shareholders and all that. The Vanguard Group owns 9.40% of Costco shares. BlackRock owns 7.56% of Costco shares. State Street Corporation owns 4.0% Costco shares. Geo Capital Management owns 2.1%. Morgan Stanley owns 2.1%. When did any of them groups start caring about black people? Craig Jelinek sounds like a Jew. When did the Jews start caring about black people? Patrick Callen, a top individual shareholder. Richard Galanti, an officer and director of Costco's. None of these people care about black people at all.
They care about their black belt.
Terrible. That was terrible. That was poor management. That was poor leadership. You're in Harlem. You choose to go to a Costco's and not a black-owned business. all these black-owned businesses in Harlem, the Mecca of New York, the Mecca of black
Do
people.
they charge the same
Then-
prices as Costco?
Then you brought up the example of the Montgomery bus boycott. Ain't that the same bus boycott that put the black bus line out of business?
Yeah.
Wasn't it that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it that one? We still, once again, we still haven't learned from our past. We haven't learned from our history.
Well, we
still following the same bullshit ass leader with the same bullshit playbook. You gonna go to Costco with hundreds?
symbolism.
No, you said the Jews. You know, the Jews spend their money with Jews, not people that support them. Because black people support them. Black people support Jews. Jews spend their money in Jewish institutions, in Jewish businesses.
Jews and black people are not in the same socioeconomic sphere in America.
Black people
They cannot afford
got
to
upset
spend
at this DEI shit, listened to Al Sharpton, followed him into a Costco that the shareholders, who are years ahead of black people, of course, Vanguard, BlackRock, they already know what y'all gonna do. Just like I know what y'all gonna do. It's debate.
Yes, but it's not because black people are foolish. It's because black people
Yes, it
are
is.
in a socioeconomic sphere where they cannot afford to be supporting small businesses that cannot afford to have their prices be as low as Costco. Costco has the competitive edge to lower prices. That's why they're a depot. That's why when you
Hey,
asked
yo.
me, I told you
No, I can't accept that neither, Noah. We spend
You
trillions of dollars a year on alcohol, on weave, on sneakers, on all types of bullshit. So if you're mad about a DEI thing or whatever that's going on, you're mad about, if you could spend your money with Asians in nail salons and hair and all that all year round, you could find a black business to go get your eggs and paper towels and tissue from in Harlem. There's no excuse for that. Y'all make an excuse for everything wrong when it comes to
I'm just
the
telling
black
you,
race.
as somebody,
Y'all make an excuse for everything wrong when it comes to the black race. That was wrong. Al
Well-
Sharpton was wrong.
So what did you you didn't make an excuse? You just did the exact
For who?
same thing.
For who?
Yeah, I mean your statement.
Huh?
You're pushing your case or whatever. But you did the same thing that you saying that you're doing.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know what you're
see-
talking about. What you talking about? I did what?
It's just what I said. You said that we find reasons to complain and this, that, and the other. What's wrong with the black race? But you're doing the exact same thing, correct?
No.
Okay. If you say so.
Let me say
What you
this.
saying, no?
I agree with you on that, BJ.
Go ahead,
because
Kurt. I hear you. You gotta speak up though. You gotta come in a little.
the symbolism that especially black folks, they compute status.
What
Status
was the
with.
first thing you said, Kurt?
I agree with you as
No,
far as
after that, my bad. The second thing you said, symbolism.
the symbolism.
2025, we still looking for symbolic shit to do.
We sitting here buying Gucci and Versace's and because that symbol shows we got some status
We spend trillions of dollars a year.
on
Let's
that.
not act like black people are broke. We spend the most
They're
money
not
a year in
broke.
America.
According to the census, listen, black and brown communities in America have a greater gross national product than all of Canada. But we are the number one buyers of Cadillacs, the dresses for I'm trying to dress for the Joneses. I got the newest Air Jordan, so we not spending money back in our own black community. We don't go to our black mechanics to fix our car. We don't go to the black banks to invest our money.
Kurt, we're in Harlem. We're in a black community with the leader of the black community, Al Sharpton.
And they won't go.
Ain't going to Costco's.
Them are
in
the same
Harlem.
house. Them the
In
same
Harlem.
house.
They chose to go to, they passed all the black-owned stores. They passed all the black-owned stores and decided to go to Costco because these people said, these white people sat in the room, these white people and these rich white people and these Jews sat in the room and said, hey, put a memo out that Costco's is against the DEI. them niggas will come. They'll go for that. Put that memo out. And
Right.
They went for it the next day. Ran the
Propaganda.
Costco's. Instead of saying, man, fuck everybody, we only supporting each other, they ran the Costco's. Come on, bro. Come on.
Well, it's always been divisiveness in the black community since
And
the turn.
it backfires every time. Just like with the Montgomery bus boycott. That backfired.
Yeah,
That
I agree with
backfired. We took our own black bus line out. It backfires every time, and they still doing it in 2025. Go ahead, Kurt. My bad.
Well, I mean, I'm in agreement with you as far as the symbolism. You know, all we have to do is hear one thing they said that we think we like, one thing, and then they go right back to the same policy. They don't care about us. Instead of us supporting us, we support whatever propaganda Donald Trump got to say.
That wasn't Donald Trump, though. That
I
wasn't
know.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump was against that. That was Costco, the shareholders for Costco.
But Donald Trump, you know, I'm against that DEI thing, and I discussed the reason why, because of taking of the grant.
Those are two different things, though, right? It's not the
No,
same thing.
yes, it is. No, the funding to the federal grants that they give to organizations, yeah, it's all in the same. That funding freeze covered my son's medicine.
No, but I'm saying the DEI and the funding, the pause on the hold on the funding is two different things, ain't it?
No, it's all in the same thing. If you don't if you don't get rid of diversity, then the federal funding to any company in America, you don't get the federal funding.
Okay, you could be right. I'm just asking. I don't know. That's why I ask questions. When I don't know, I ask.
You know, it's the whole thing that I'm saying is why we can't be a diversified country since we are of diverse, different backgrounds, ideological approach.
Nah, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for. Why we worried about diversifying a country? Why we worried about that?
Because that's what
Why
we
we so
are.
worried about the illegal immigrants? Why is the black race? Why are black people worried about what they're doing with illegal immigrants? I don't understand that. Why do we care?
Because we're not inclusive with our own people. If they get rid of diversity,
Let's work on that. Let's work on our relationship with each
well,
other.
that's what I'm saying. If they diversify, if they don't diversify, then my son, your son, or nobody else's son of our race won't be able to have the same level playing field as, say, Donald Trump's son. Because they don't have a mandate to be diversified.
No, the reason why we not our kids won't have the same playing field as Donald Trump's son, because Donald Trump's son and them is on another level.
No, because
That's the reason why. So I don't care. I don't care about that. All I got to do is bust my ass, get my money, do what I got to do to put my kids in a position to get on another level, on a higher level than I did. I'm not worried about them. We focusing too much on them. We focusing too much on them. They already got it. They already doing it. They've been doing it for years since America was created. That's the head start that they have.
That's how they did it, because they didn't include nobody else in their the climb to the top.
Yeah, that's the problem that we have. We want to be included in they shit. That's what's been fucking us up the whole time.
But this is not.
We too busy trying to be included with them. No, we need to do our thing.
I don't think we're trying to necessarily be included. I just think we want to be seen as people. I don't think it's necessarily included. I think we just want to be seen as people.
You want to be what kind of people? What people?
We want to be seen as equal. No less.
Oh, so that's what the DEI thing do?
No.
Okay. Let's say this. Forget the DEI. Let's say that never happened, right? And Trump sees you as equal. How does that help your situation now? Does that put more money in your pocket?
What do you mean? If an employer sees me as equal and I have the merit, I should be able to get the job. However, if my skin is going to be hindered, then I will support things like DEI if companies aren't being diversified, giving the minority people the same opportunity as they would give the less qualified.
So what about the black people that thrive, that did good and had jobs and were prominent in the 1950s and the 1940s and the 1930s and the 1920s that couldn't vote and didn't have the affirmative action and DEI?
They took all their inventions and they profited
down
off that.
town.
What y'all
They
said?
turned down Black Wall Street. You know, every time we excelled in something, they say, who discovered the electricity, and they created an electric bill, so they profited off of our excellence.
Y'all make an excuse for everything that's weak and wrong.
Come on.
Y'all make
That's history.
y'all make an excuse for everything that's weak and wrong, man. We never gonna get out of the state we in because our black men that's supposed to be leading our black women and our black children can't even get it in their mind that we can get past this DEI shit because it's so unfair. It's so unfair. They took the DEI away. Now we're not equal. we're not on the same level field. I ain't never been on the same playing level field. I ain't never been on the same playing level field. I've been a convicted felon since I was 16. I ain't never been on the same playing level field as no one. So I guess that's why I think different. I ain't never been on the same playing level field. I always had to come out here and get it and get to it. Sleepless nights. So I guess that's why I don't get it. That we crying about the same playing level field. Equality. We begging for equality and stuff. I don't get it.
No, we're not begging for equality. We're wanting equality. And, laws are put into place, I guess, at that particular time that is needed. You may not be able to be in the position that you in had these certain laws not been into place. So you benefited from those laws.
I ain't benefit from no laws.
Yeah, you did. If you ever worked anywhere that had the DEI and all of that, and the reason you benefited because we're doing whatever to try to make sure you and I, will have those same opportunities based off of, our talent qualified.
So go ahead, Terrence. Go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, we're not begging for equality. We just want to be seen as equal and to be treated as such. There's nothing wrong with that. And the fact that, like I said, you're where you are, I'm where I'm at. We benefited from what our people did. So, I just don't see how you can't, you don't, at least you gave some concessions earlier, but how you don't see how you benefited from it. I agree with you though. I had to make shit happen. So I support you on that. Certain people, instead of sitting there complaining about it, we get up and do something about it to make a better life for your kids and our families. So I'm definitely with you on that. But I do know that, some people, in our community don't have that ambition, don't have that drive, don't have that.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the only problem I see.
It's not the only problem. It's a big problem, but it's not the only problem.
That's the only problem I see, though.
If you look at the past 80 years, you asked me when DEI started, and I looked it up, and it was the 1960s.
Okay.
If you look up the just the timeline of things, everything that was happening every decade, the difference between DEI initiatives and their prevalence in the 60s versus the 80s and 90s, there was a huge push for more. 2000s was an even bigger decade. There's been a general trend towards enacting more laws that never even gave Black people the equality that I think T is talking about. DEI never made shit equal. It was just an attempt to compensate for the inequalities that leads to those statistics about access to employment, access to jobs, just all these like statistics about the difference between white people and Black people. So it's not like it ever made it equal, but it's like when you see that trend of these initiatives over 100 years from the start of the 21st century until now going in one direction, and then suddenly Trump wake up and say no more DEI and it's going backwards. That's what makes people, it's not just fear mongering. It's like, it's the first time we go in reverse. We're going back to the old times. We're not going forward. You're canceling them. You're not just not doing anything to further them. You're canceling them. And that's what's worrisome. It's not like these things ever made
that makes us weak. That makes us helpless. That's a mind. Our minds.
Minority will never be able to have its own.
That's weak shit, man.
Its own shit.
That's weak shit. That's weak shit. Affirmative action is weak shit. We don't need that. We don't need that to go forward. We don't need affirmative action or DEI to move forward. We don't need that to move forward. It never. You don't know nothing about. You don't know who went through what. You don't know nothing about DEI or who used affirmative action to help nobody. So what y'all saying is every Black person that was able to be employed after 1965 only was employed because they came through DEI or affirmative action. That's what you're saying.
No. But what we're saying is that they were being employed at a far less rate than white people.
Okay.
But those same companies.
I would like to know the
Ivy Leagues
statistics
and
on
disparities in Black and white people in Ivy Leagues before affirmative action and after. Look at those statistics. And they smart Black people. At the end of the day, when you're looking at Ivy Leagues that accept 2%, the top 10% of any school, Black, white, or Hispanic, has an SAT score above 1400. When you're
don't go to the Ivy League school. Go to the Black school.
The Ivy League schools is creating the most opportunities for accumulating real wealth.
Yeah, that's the problem. We need to create our own wealth. We need to go back. We need to go back to how they was doing it back in the days. Yeah, we need to go back. Maybe we need to go back. Because going back then is when Black people was together. That's when we was unified.
Yeah,
before the 1960s is when we supported each other. Before the Civil Rights Act is when we supported each other and when we was thriving. So maybe we do need to go back. Absolutely. I just feel like that's weak. I feel like that's weak. And it shows that it's weak because as soon as they took it away, Black people got the tripping, stressing. Don't know what they gonna do now. Niggas that don't even work. Niggas that never had a job is talking about DEI. You never even had a job. Black people on food stamps mad because he talking about you gonna have to work for your food stamps. Mad. Come on, man. I just ain't with the excuses, man. I'm not raising my kids to even think like that. Not raising my kids to think like that.
I do know this because I lived back in the 60s. That if it had not been for some of these organizations up under the DEI had not been put in place, you wouldn't be able to sit there and talk like that on a podcast. They'll hang you by a tree.
They ain't got nothing to do with DEI. What are you talking about? They don't got nothing to do with DEI. They don't have nothing to do with DEI, man.
Yes,
they don't got nothing to do with DEI, man. DEI and affirmative action didn't come to the 1960s. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. The programs that enabled us to be able to reach for something better, to be able to be.
You needed a program. You needed a program from the white man to reach for something better.
No, the country needed a program to be able to give minorities an opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise get if that program wasn't in place.
You don't even know that to be true. What
I
opportunities
do
they
know,
gave
but
minorities?
the fact that it was put into play in the beginning shows the disparity, how disparagingly that the white race was doing compared to the black race, and with the racism and all of the shit that was going on back then, we drink out of water fountains. We can't go through this. Those laws were put into place to try to help ensure some type of fairness, some type of opportunity for everyone, not just the white race. So at that time, those laws were needed, and it's obvious now that it's still needed. And if them taking away the law is a way to get the people that don't work, the men that don't work, somewhat involved to know what's going on, and to do that, it's a backdoor compliment. It's a weird thing, but at least they're finally paying attention if they weren't beforehand.
So,
A little
so
too
the
late.
DEI and affirmative action and all that made us equal, or made them look at us equal.
Yeah,
as equal?
I think Nora just said it didn't make us equal. It just gave us, some steps to try to ensure getting to that point. And that's what I said. We're not begging for anything. We're, at this point demanding to be seen as equal. So, and there's nothing, I mean, in the country, we pay the same taxes. We want to be afforded those opportunities as well.
What opportunities?
To be in the front office, to get those higher paying jobs.
Y'all still want to rub shoulders with the white man.
We want to be able to make money.
That's all y'all want.
We want to be able
y'all still want to
to
rub shoulders and shake booties with the white man.
DJ,
Nah.
do you not think that DEI initiatives were effectively
Opportunities to sit in the front office. Nah, fuck all that, man. Nah.
I mean, yeah, but that's where the money is. You want to feel included. You want to, that's why I said the front office. Opposed to just being out in the yard. We want to be we want to have our position. If we work for it and earn it, we want to be able to do the same things and get it and not be disqualified because of our skin.
I thought we learned from the civil rights movement. They wanted they wanted that in the civil rights movement 60 years ago. That's what they wanted. And we ain't get nowhere with that.
There is progress. It's still a lot to be done, especially now. But there was progress. If you look at the statistics, you will see how from the time that these laws wasn't in place, how we were treated and how the companies didn't hire us and how we couldn't do certain couldn't get into certain schools and this, that, and the other, all because the color of our skin, not because we weren't qualified, but because the color of our skin. So yeah, we want to be seen as equal. Those laws benefited and was needed at that time, and it's still going on today.
You got an echo, Terrence.
Yeah. I just think that those laws, because we weren't being treated fair, we weren't getting those opportunities just because we are the color of our skin. That's why the programs and equal opportunity employers and all of those things were put into place.
Go ahead, Noah. I see you got something on your. I see it. Go ahead, Noah.
I just feel like effectively, BJ, when you're dealing with a situation like this, and objectively the majority of the power has been in the white man's hand on a political and economic macro scale. So if all they are willing to offer in the form of reparations is bullshit DEI initiatives that objectively helped a group of black people. They didn't help every black man. Not every black man got to where he is through these initiatives, but they helped. And there's been clearly the position of America has been clear that this is what they're willing to offer in terms of effective reparations. Just like it took them years to be able to formulate what they're going to offer Native Americans. This is the phase that I think we're in now, because it took a lot of time for Native Americans to get their reparations. So when you see a step back, it just makes you feel like America's not even going towards the direction of real reparations. That even this tiny step forward ended up being canceled. Like, I don't know how you don't even see it just in that scale as like it was still a step in the right direction. And ultimately, that was the only way that the only sign that we had that we were even going towards a place of potential real reparations for the taking of every opportunity for Black people to develop generational wealth over the past 200 years.
I'm gonna bring that up next time when we come back to reparation. I forgot about that. I'm gonna bring that up, but I don't think we ever gonna get reparations. But this my thing. This my overall thinking in life in general, right? If my ancestors was able to come out of slavery, one generation and a half, maybe 2 generations out of slavery, and build a Black Wall Street, they didn't have DEI. They didn't have affirmative action. They didn't have no programs that helped them. They could barely read and write. What they had was a drive and motivation and unity. That's it. And they built Black Wall Street and Rosewoods and Greensville and all types of stuff. I understand, Kurt. The white man took it and burnt it down and bombed it and all that, whatever. But they did it. They did it. That's why I would never care about any programs they talking about. The Black Panthers came with the free lunch and all that shit. The Black Panthers was taking care of the community. All the strongest Black people in America, they did for themselves. They didn't care about no inclusion with white people or what laws they had. They did for themselves every time. Every time we want to be included with something with this government and these white people, we get the bad end of the stick, man.
But what happened when white people weren't? How did it end up?
What happened? What? No.
When it was Black Wall Street, how did it end up when it was a project that was exclusively Black and didn't involve including white?
They bombed us. They bombed it. They burnt it down.
So it's not like these initiatives. Every time there was any real attempt at formulating Black wealth independent of white people, they made it very clear.
So then what you're saying is we can't build Black wealth independent of Black people? I mean, white people?
I'm saying the reason that Black people feel that they might need to be included in these programs through that way, through the white way, is because when they did it independently through the Black way, those were the repercussions. They weren't allowed to continue.
Yeah, that was in 1920.
How do you expect people to still have that Black Panther spirit?
That was in 1920.
Getting bombed, trying and getting bombed. How do you expect
that was in 1920. It's 2025 now. We got it way easier than what they had 100 years ago.
That's because they enacted law.
We have millionaire Black people, billionaire Black people. We don't have to be included. The Jews are not included with them. The Asians are not included with them. The Arabs aren't. Even some of the Hispanics, Puerto Ricans and stuff that own their businesses, they don't care about being included with white people. They support each other. The Africans do it. Jamaicans do it. The West Indians do it. Everybody do it but the Black American. And the Black Americans are sitting here talking about we need to be included with them. We need the DEI. We need affirmative action. We need this. We need that. I don't need nothing from them. I've been a taker all my life.
Well, I mean, I guess it would be easy for someone to say that now that, that those laws kind of just still help that person. I guess if you wasn't in those times where, you probably wouldn't get a full grasp of why they fought for it. And we may be, being a little naive or being whatever, but we still benefited from it.
The man that fought for it the most, Martin Luther King, the man that fought for it the most, realized he made a mistake. He said it before they blew his brains out. That was his last speech. He said he felt like he led his people into a burning building. You want to be included and can't even afford the food to be included. You want to sit at the restaurant, at the white restaurant, but can't afford a hamburger. You worried about drinking at a white water fountain. I don't have to drink at no white water fountain. I feel like they're going to poison me anyway. I don't need that. I'm with the Nation of Islam until they killed Malcolm X, but I'm with Elijah and them. They didn't want to be included. They wanted their own.
It's not so much as being included, it's so much as having the same opportunities based off of merit opposed to by being disqualified by the color of the skin. So do you think we had to do? Now, if you were back in the time or if you knew at the time that you were disqualified.
Yeah, echo back.
If you were, so you're saying you've never felt at a job that you ever tried to apply for or had or any time in your life, that you knew that you was qualified for it, but they wouldn't give you the job because of your skin.
Nah, I never had a job more than 6 months. No. To answer your question, no, because I never took a job serious. No. That money ain't. I
Well,
can't do it.
I
I
said
can't do a job.
you never got. Good for you. I guess you never had to experience it. But still, those jobs that you probably didn't have for only 6 months. You probably wouldn't have been able to even apply or when you got to enjoy the job. Had those laws, had we not benefited from those laws.
I get what you're saying. That's cool. I get what you're saying. I mean, if y'all want to raise your kids, grandkids, to want to apply for jobs that the white man might make it a level playing field because of this law and that law is in place, and it doesn't even matter to the employer. The employer is going to hire whoever they want to hire anyway. They probably hire a certain amount of minorities, and it ain't going to be blacks. A certain amount of minorities, gays, white women, Hispanics, to get a tax break. But I'm not on that accord. I'm not on that accord.
Well, and as I said at the beginning, and hey, that's your choice. That's what you choose to believe. It's not on me to do anything, but do what I feel is best for me and my community, basically. But it's your choice, like it's the women's choice.
Go ahead, Kurt. Kurt, what you got? Me and Will got to get up out of here.
I kind of agree with you to a certain extent because
I don't want you to agree with me. You and Terrence, I don't want y'all agreeing with me.
Time out. It's my time to speak. Don't interrupt me because I listen.
My fault, man. My fault.
I agree with you to a certain extent. Like, because I've been knowing you for, the better part of 20 years.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that, you ain't depending on no motherfucker to get no money or to get your status because you're going to get out here and grind for it. However, that's Terrence's favorite word. However, I also grew up during the struggle of the civil rights. And it wasn't more so about being included as opposed to allotted the same opportunities to express my greatness. You know what I'm saying? If I expressed my greatness back when it was Black Wall Street, the lawmakers burnt it down. So therefore, the playing field is not even. They got a Wall Street, I got a Wall Street. I would prefer, like to this day, to support my own black business than any business owned by, the Rockefellers or whoever. However, they wouldn't have ever been allowed the opportunity to own a place of business back in the 60s. If there had not been laws that had been enacted that they cannot discriminate based on a certain culture or whatnot. Yes, other countries like Africa and Jamaica, they don't. Jews invest in their own. The mentality that had been instilled in us from way back in slavery time is that our own brothers will be like, we sick ball, and he wants to be.
And
you breaking up, Kurt?
Yeah, I had a call, but not all of us.
15 seconds, Kurt. 15 seconds. We gotta get up out of here. 15 seconds.
Understand what you're saying. I agree with that to the point where I don't want to drink out of the same water. So I don't even eat the same kind of food they eat. I don't want to be included in that regard. But if my excellence shows that I can go to Harvard and study law, then let that be on my merits. instead of, oh, you know, I told you it took me what 12 years to gain.
Kurt, you breaking up, man. You gotta stay still, man. You in the basement, man. Get out the basement.
Phone keep ringing.
Down there with Big Figure.
Yeah, he in the bunker, man. Get out the bunker.
And he froze type shit.
Somebody called his phone.
Can you hear me?
5 seconds, Kurt. We hear you. 5 seconds. Come on. Land the plane.
I think that we should depend on ourselves in order to, you know, move to the next level. However, I don't want nobody standing in my way of it, because if they stand in the way, then, you know, or take away my opportunities to show greatness, then yeah, I'm against that kind of program. You know what I'm saying? I'm just against the program. I agree with you on certain points about, you know, we depending on them to be equal. I don't want to be equal to them. I don't have anything in common with the Anglo-Saxon European, the Caucasian. I don't have nothing in common with them. I don't even have in common with them my drive or my idea of what success is.
Kurt, one thing I know about you, you're not gonna last long on a job with a bunch of white people anyway.
I ain't gonna do it.
I give you a year. If you make it a year, but you
well, my last one I was on.
They could leave you alone. You gonna pick a fight, just like you picked that fight about the over the sandwich. You was dead wrong. You was dead wrong. What was it, Kurt? What was it, Kurt?
Okay.
Over the sandwich.
Okay, I didn't pick that fight. I just made sure I made it clear.
You was making $40 an hour.
Wait, this is how the
You
whole
wanted to beef
conversation.
with them people over some free food.
This
Why
is
you
what.
even eating their food?
But see, you misrepresented. You said I picked that fight. All I said was when they said we're gonna get sandwiches, I said I don't eat pork. Now that's my right to say that I don't eat it. So why would you? I want you to buy it. So the white boy walked up to me when the supervisor was around and say, "Boy, what you got against pork? You're a black Muslim."
I forgot about the boy part. I ain't know you.
Fight.
Okay.
I forgot. My bad, Kurt. I forgot about the boy part.
So here I got this old southern ass Georgia boy that then walked up to me younger than me and called me a boy. I said, first of all, I'm older than you, so I deserve the respect of sir. Second of all, what I got to do, what does my race or my religion got to do with what I prefer to eat? And so I asked him, I said, let me ask you a question. He was like, what's that? I said, so do you eat dog? No, I don't eat no dog. What you got against dog? Some people in Asian countries eat dog, rice, and egg food, young gravy. So now people are laughing at him. So now he feels as though I'm not getting along with him because he chose to say, are you going to vote for Herschel Walker? No. Why are you going to vote for that pimp preacher that's over that radical guy Martin Luther King's church? I said, no, I'm not ready to vote in Georgia. I said, and even if I would, I wouldn't vote for no Herschel Walker. He dumb as a box of rocks. You know what I'm saying? So now he mad at me because I won't hold his political ideas. So now the racial overtone is, well, we're going to transfer him over to the plant where he hasn't been trained to do what they do over there or nothing. And then when he make a mistake, we want to let him go. No, okay, you can let me go. No, better still, I'm retired. I don't have to work here. I don't have to be around you country motherfucker. I came down there just to come back to Georgia because that was my place that I preferred to be. That's where my partner's at, BJ. I could have got back in with y'all group. You know, so I didn't pick that fight, but I sure ended it. You're not going to talk to me.
I was just messing with you. That's why we got to create our own, man.
See, they can't be right. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in that. That's what the Black Panther movement was about. We should be able to police our own neighborhood.
Yep.
Because how's a white man that live way out in the rural areas can come over here in North County
yep.
and be able to identify with how my people respond, how we talk. Sometimes talking, it sound like we argue, but we not. We just disagree.
And those was the Black Panthers. Those was kids. They was 16, 17. Fred Hampton and them niggas was 16, 17, 18, taking care of the community. But
That's right. That's right.
No,
I was a young man then.
Take us out, Noah. What you got on the closeout?
What do I got? What? I didn't hear
I said
you.
what you got to end with on the on what we was talking about. I guess the DEI or whatever.
Nothing at the end. I agree with most of what you were saying. I just don't agree with like. I just
don't want you agreeing with me neither.
I don't agree with ending these things. Like Trump always talk about ending this, ending that, ending this. That's not government efficiency. Shit needs to be improved, not ended. Whether it's DI or federal funding or any other shit he's talking about, he keeps talking about getting rid of shit, and he hasn't suggested one idea about what to add or what to fix. When he starts talking about what to fix and what to add, then we'll have a better debate about this. But for now, ending anything is just dumb as bricks. He's just trying to make these, shocking statements to have people think he's actually doing shit, when in fact he's doing the opposite of that. He's getting rid of shit that's been done.
All right, so can we give him another week or two? You give him a little more time?
I'm just not falling for you because you talk about falling for all the other bullshit. I just feel like this is us falling for his bullshit of writing grand orders and things that sound like they're actually causing change when they're not. I'll give him a month. I'll give him 4 years. But at the end of the day, there's everything he's doing right now.
It ain't going to take that long.
We'll see
It ain't
about
going to take that long.
It ain't gonna take that long to do what?
Now, he getting right to business. You see, he ain't waste no time.
What is he gonna do? What is he gonna accomplish?
We gonna talk about that on the next podcast. We got to get up out of here.
All right.
I have fun though, man. I appreciate y'all. I have fun, Terrence.
Right on. Thank you for having me.
Man, anytime.
It's the best
Kurt,
episode by far.
Kurt, Kurt, I gotta go pick up a load, man. Do not call me and keep me up 3, 4 in the morning tonight, Kurt. I ain't doing that.
He's out there driving, looking at the road anyway, bro.
No, don't be texting me 5, 6 in the morning.
Honestly, I could do it anytime by text. I argue with him by text.
Sending me all these clips and all that.
You're gonna get a lot of clips. You ask for it. You're gonna get science. You're gonna get journals.
I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep, and y'all got homework. I'm giving y'all homework. Y'all need to look up the Department of Labor. That's where I got them statistics from on the DEI. Number 1 was white women. Number 2 was Hispanics, and black people are last. Black people are last. I'm gonna have that for y'all next time. But yo, I'm gonna hit y'all. Terrence, I got y'all in the chat, so I'm gonna let y'all know when the next time we coming up.
All right.
Probably Friday if y'all ain't doing nothing.
All right.
All right.
All right. No, I'm gonna hit you up.
I know you're gonna be working on Friday, ain't you, Terrence?
Nah, I'm about to hit y'all.
All right. Peace,
All right,
my brother.
peace, y'all.